Hi all, we're doing back with a new video. So in this video, just trying something new because many people ask me like whether I would be able to show on screen what I'm explaining. That would be helping for them to understand in a deeper way. So what I'm trying, like I just opened a text document over here, and the sideways I'm opening the video also. Basically, I'm recording the screen actually. So let's see how it works. So this is a part 2 of the quantity survey interview questions. Is in this section, I'm going to touch base with the variation and the potential question from the variations clause. Okay, so not wasting much time, straight away jumping to the clause actually. So the first question usually ask like what is the clause for variation in FIDIC? So clause number 13.1.3 is the clause for variation. So 13 considered as a bad number actually in different countries. So variation always a headache for the client. So same perspective. Clause number 13 is the variation clause. Just keep in mind clause number 13 is the variation. So the next question will be basically going to ask you what is variation as per FIDIC. Okay. So clause number 13 will define you what is a variation as per the FIDIC. Basically is change in quality, change in quantity, change in quality, change in level, position, omission of the work, addition of the work, sequence of the work, timing of the work. If any of these change, that is a variation. Let me explain you how. So first, change in quantity. Obviously, you are working for a small project, and there is like there's a requirement of 10 CCTVs. Example, and client telling like I need 20 CCTV. So quantity change, that is a straight variation. Now the quality. Okay, so there is a hotel project example, and there was a TV requirement is there, and client initially told like you needed a TV which is a brand from Nikkei or a local brand, but moving forward he said no, I need a Samsung TV. So the quality is changed. So that is second cases. Then change in level position. Basically level position means you might have given with the leveling of the work. Okay, so when the level or position of the what do you call that ground level something is increased, that's a variation. Basically it's applicable when you have a cutting or filling of work, this will be applicable. Now it's omission of the work. Obviously it's like when you don't want to omit something, that will be negative variation. So you have work like installation of 100 CCTVs, but he is telling no, time being install only 50 CCTV, 50 you don't install, so that's an omission of work, right? So this is additional work. So very common, like it's adding up the work to you which is not in the scope previously. Okay, and the most last section is like change in sequence or time. I'll tell you how it's work. Like you enter into the contract with a perception like you work start with 8 o'clock and end by 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock morning to 5 o'clock. So that was your planning, but then suddenly client telling no, I need a night shift also. In night shift you may need to pay your labor like extra amount of money, like you need to pay overtime allowance as per the country, something like that. And then you're telling like timing is changed and sequence is changed. You telling like work for 2 hours extra, 3 hours extra, the sequence is remodifying, because when you working 2 3 hours extra, that is again qualifying for the what do you call that overtime steps and all. So this is also when sequence changing and timing change, that also will qualify as a variation. So next question will be how do you identify variation? Actually, it's a very common question, like a very interesting question. How do you identify a variation? So usually when you receive a IFC drawing, a reverse drawing, a reverse specification, a reverse statement, you will have a variation possibilities there. And there will be some position possibility, like they will client comment on the method statement, will client comment on the shop drawing, comment on method material submission and all. Okay, that also a position where you can see a potential variation. And then again site instruction, verbal instruction from site, then the classical engineering instruction, additional work, which is these all the cases where you identify the variation. Okay, so explain. Then the next question will be like explain change management process in your company. So change management or a variation process in a company, basically. So you identify a variation. So basically first start with it. You receive a IFC drawing, and you review IFC drawing. So you identify there is changes, so you send a notification. Okay, so first you identify changes, second send notification, Third, submit the proposal. You submit the cost proposals. You identify the changes. Then you, for example, there is additional number of CCTV basically. So you identify some 100 numbers adding in the new drawing. Not as there is no regulation. This is not as per regulation. There is additional room added. So you putting 100 what do you call that, 100 CCTV extra. So you submit the proposal. How this much going to cost you? Then your contracted part is over. Then consultant will review it, okay, and he will study it. Okay, there is a change and this is additional cost. Then he will recommend this officially to the client actually, and client will decide, okay, this much cost will be incurred, so should I go for the change or not. The client can tell no, that is not required, tell the consultant not to do. This possibility. So this is the change management or a variation procedure in the full project. Okay, there is a contractor work is there, a consultant part is there, client part is there. Okay, next question is like, what is NOD and what is NOV? This is a different terminology will be used. NOD is like notification of delay, and NOV notification of variation. So when you identify variation, you have to notify the client. It's called NOV or a RFC, request for change, many names you can tell. So basically you will write and refer to this drawing. We have identified certain changes and refer to clause number 13.3. We are anticipating an additional cost. And same way you will write a letter for delay also, notification delay. So we'll say there is additional cost, or I'm facing a delay over here, so I am expecting a potential delay and additional cost for that. Excuse me. So NOV, NOD over. So next question will be so basic I think the next question, total change management process in a project, I think I already explained to you. And next is provisional sum. What is provisional sum? Why I am telling this, provisional sum is basically coming under variation. Clause number 13.5 will tell you what is provisional sum. So there will be a question, what is provisional sum, what is defined provisional sum, what is undefined provisional sum. So provisional sum is basically, in your BOQ there will be item like provisional sum item. So when the employer or client issuing the tender documents, at that time they were not very sure, because at that moment specification was maybe not clear. Like for example, you need to, anyway it's a hotel project and client need to install some 100 TVs or 100 home theaters items. But at that moment he has not decided which TV to select, which speaker to select, and it should be a type of selection, like it should be wired connection or like wireless connection. Nothing he decided, so he keep as a provisional sum item. Okay, it's called provisional sum item because client and contractor know there is an item called provisional sum item. There's drawings, everything is ready, but some like specification of an item or a brand or material, something not decided, but the work is this. So there is two type, defined PS and undefined PS. Defined PS, like the work is done, so potential item is there, but you don't need more documents to confirm it. Undefined provisional sum is basically the contingency actually. You don't have much information about the particular item and it become contingency. For example, something to be done underground, but you don't know what to do underground, such scenario. Okay, and next is what is day work. And again, one more thing I need to add over here. Provisional sum is basically you will conclude by a change order or everything is you have to issue a notification for the provisional sum item. Then engineer will issue a permission to expenditure of the permission PS item. Then only you can trigger this item, but it's coming under variation. Then 13.6 is basically the day work item. So when you submit the BOQ, client will ask you for your day work schedule. So day work schedule is like how much your labor cost, material cost, plant cost, hourly rate, how much. This is useful. Excuse me. When a client want to do some work which is not relating to your scope of work. For example, you are constructing a building over there, okay, in this plot boundary you are constructing a high-rise building, but now client need a additional building which is not part of this original scope, an additional building or a driver accommodation, a majlis, something like that. So such work he can get it done through the day work schedule. Okay, so when client asks you to do the day work schedule, what you have to do is you have to maintain a proper record of your labor, material, staff, salary, everything. So you had to firstly for the labor maintain a timesheet. For the material purchase, you might have a rate in your day work BOQ. If not, keep the record and everything. You have to submit your engineer, get it approved for the day work execution. Okay. And next is what is value engineering. So value engineering also coming under variation. So PS, posted some items, day work items, value engineering, everything is coming under variation. Value engineering is like 30.5, I believe. The clause is 30.5, I believe. Not sure. I'm just confusing. I think 30.5. So what is value engineering? Value engineering is basically a contractor or employer can propose some modification which will improve the quality of work, reduce the cost, increase the efficiency, reduce the time without compromising the functionality. So you can't compromise the functional requirement, but you reduce the cost of the work, time is reduced, efficiency is improved. Such proposals are called value engineering. Okay, without compromising the functional requirement of a system, you are improving the quality, improving the efficiency, reducing the cost, or reducing the time is you can call it the value engineering. For example, there is installation of a FCU or a fan coil unit, okay, or AC unit. So as per the original contract, it should be from USA, okay. So you are telling to clients, see, I can get it done from UK also. You will not cost must same. The cost will be reduced, but you will get a same quality of items, okay. So client will be happy because I'm telling like functionality is not compromising, cost is reducing, quality is same actually. So this is the value engineering example. But again, don't get confused value engineering with the cost cutting. So value engineering basically you improve the value, the client getting or equal value with the same cost or reduce the cost. But in cost cutting, you may compromise the quality or reduce the cost. I'll tell you an example. As per the in original scope, there is some 8 air conditioning system is required. So part of cost cutting, you're reducing 8 into 6. But there will be potential some when full auditorium is full, you might not be getting the same efficiency. So this cost cutting, you reduce the cost, not improving the efficiency. Okay. So don't confuse value engineering with the cost cutting. Cost cutting is different. You're reducing the cost. Value engineering, you improve the efficiency. Value engineering can be increase the cost or reduce the cost. I'll tell you how it works. Sometimes value engineering proposal will be increase the cost initially, but when you consider long run, it will be beneficial. For example, if you are putting Italian marble, and for example, initial scope was tile, okay. Now you're proposing let us put Italian marble. Italian marble is obviously expensive, you know that, but maintenance cost will be less for this, and it's very durable. It will last for like 20-25 years. But tile, after some time, it will start breaking, broken pieces will be there, some issue will be there. Okay, so initially the amount was higher in value engineering, but long run it's the best beneficial. So that's called value engineering. So the last item I'm going like so I think we covered all the item value engineering, day work, professional, some non-professional, professional item. What is how to identify the variation, the process, different steps in variation, and the clauses in the variation, PS item, day work schedule, and value engineering we covered. So there's one more thing I just missed to explain over here. A change in legislation. If there is a sudden change in law, that also will give you a right for the changes actually. That's all covered in the variation clause only. So because when you submitting tendering or preparing estimation, you don't know that law is coming or not. But when you submit the proposal, after that only the new law came. So you are entitled for the cost actually. Okay. So basically that's it from my end for the variation. I think I pretty covered most of the item over here. And thank you. If any doubt on something, let me know. I can come back to you on that. Thank you.